SORTA Radio.
Welcome back to SORTA Radio. I'm here with my big brother. Again, I've known him for 10 plus years. He's been in my life constantly. Gabriel Devers.
What's up, peoples?
Thank you, bro.
What's going on, bro?
How you doing, man?
Yo, doing good, bro.
Yeah, working.
Proud, yo, no, I'm proud, man. Like, you told me about this. I told you I was gonna support you 110%, and I wanted to be on the show, and here we are.
Yeah, bro. It's gonna grow, I'm just.
Oh no, I'm coming back. No, I'm coming back, yo. Like, this is not gonna be the first and last time you guys are gonna see me. Like, I'm gonna be here a lot because I have my own stuff that I'm working on.
Oh yeah, let's get into that. So Gabe has been always into computers, computer programming, also cars too. I know you just picked up a new whip.
Yeah.
But he's been working on a project for as long as I can remember, and he was always telling me it was gonna be big. It was gonna be big, and it's actually I'll let him explain it.
Alright, so growing up, like, one of my biggest outlets was like anime, cause yo, like, honestly, like, fuck it. Oh wait, can I curse?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So like, yo, like, honestly, fuck it. Like, I was just like an anime kid. Like, I was a nerd. I love reading comic books and all this shit. And Dragon Ball Z, always big shout out. And got into Dragon Ball Z. Started watching more anime. Naruto started coming out because that's like my age. Like, growing up when I was like 9, 10, Naruto was just coming out onto Toonami at the time on Cartoon Network. Shout out to Toonami if you guys even know about that shit. That shit's fucking old.
I remember it, bro.
You remember that shit? Yeah, you were on the last leg of it. Yeah. They brought it back, which is dope. But that's always been like a huge inspiration for me. So started getting into anime, watched all sorts of different ones, and I realized that it's actually a really powerful medium because I know a lot of people that have legitimately cried at the end of like shows because like they lose themselves in this world, and like they tell this beautiful story, and like you fall in love with the characters, and like you could not, like, if you tell somebody like the script from an anime and the script from like a TV show, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But people look down on animation, on like animation and stuff because it's drawn versus being acted. You get me?
Yeah.
So that's why like Netflix has these like these live action adaptations because they're trying to tell the story because they do like it, but because of you name it, whether you want to call it whitewashing, bad writing, not sticking to the source material, they flop a lot of the time. You get me? So people get mad at that movie because it's not sticking to the source material, but now you're getting more people exposed to the material in the first place. Maybe now they'll go watch it. And maybe they'll start understanding that, this is an actual source, like, medium. Like, where you can actually tell beautiful stories and complex stories about growth, pain, adventure, love, happiness, sadness, like, depression. Like, all the animes aren't just about, like, fighting and, monsters and, like, transforming and superpowers. Like, a lot of them are, like, basically what is known as a genre is called slice of life, where it's just like you follow high school kids around and
my
like
little
living their
brother,
life.
I want to say my little brother and my little sister are really into anime. Actually, they picked it up because of Naruto, because Netflix put Naruto on, on their list. So they saw Naruto and they just fell in love with anime because it's different. Like you said, when things are being acted, it doesn't fit as perfect as the producer or the director wants it. But when things are being drawn, the artist is pouring like his heart into it because you can see it because he's making it.
Exactly, yeah, because like you can tell that there's a different level of dedication.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like you can't always get your actor to move the way that you want them to move. But you can always draw them the way that you want them to draw. Yeah, I mean, like if if you want to draw, you can draw your character any way you want.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter. But like as far as like in like real life adaptations, like you're limited.
Yeah. You're
limited by physics.
Anyway, why are we talking about this?
Yeah, so that just goes back to so I started up my own animation company, Studio Weird Animations, and it's officially it's an actual company. It's on paper only. It was established back in 2016, but the first project that we're working on, called Project Syndicate, is actually predates the start of the studio.
Okay.
And the way that started was one day I was walking from from my house to my boy's house. Andres, shout out. That's my brother. I was walking to his house and I had this idea. I don't know if any of you guys are from the Lodi area, but we both lived in Lodi, so I'm walking through Memorial Park.
Okay.
All right, and in this park, there's a bridge that goes over this river. Mind you, I am completely sober. Like the fact that I gotta state that is like it's crazy to me. But I'm 100% sober at the time. Okay. Right? I didn't mess with anything. Didn't do anything. This is just how my mind works. I was like, yo, if I'm getting chased by the cops, and for whatever reason I have a grappling hook device on my wrist and an identical one on my other side. Mind you, I'm sober, bro. This is how crazy I am. I was like, yo, I could shoot one side onto the one edge of the bridge, jump over. I'm freaking crazy, right? Right? And then with the momentum that I'd have from swinging over, right, because it'd release, right, create a pendulum swing, shoot onto the other side, right? And then hoist myself up so the cops run over me. Yeah. Right? They spread because they don't know where I went, right?
You're under the bridge.
So then I unhook myself, hop on the other side, and walk in the opposite direction. That's literally how this show started. Was with that one scene. And that's what I wanted to animate. I wanted to animate one scene and an entire show came out of this one scene.
Really?
Yeah.
You know how I know that it means a lot to you?
What's up?
Because when did this happen? When you thought of this idea?
Oh my God. It was summer. I was still in high school because you remember my green book bag?
Yes.
It was still kind of new.
Because you gave it to David.
Yeah, because I gave it to David. David's my little brother. You guys are probably going to see him on here. But yeah, so I still had that book bag and it was still kind of new. It wasn't as stained or ratted as it is now because I beat it up. So I want to say maybe 2013, right as I was about to graduate high school, maybe 2012, my junior year, is when I started getting these ideas. And what ended up happening is that the show originally was two separate ideas. The show was originally two separate ideas. Yeah. But because I couldn't write enough about each of them separately, I merged them. Okay. So that's what creates this huge interconnected plot now because it's actually two separate shows in one. Okay. Right. I don't want to give too much because the first volume of the comic book is actually coming out. So what I'm doing is that I'm releasing it as a comic book first. Yeah. But I'm doing a little twist on it. So it's going to be a web comic, and there's going to be two ways that you can take in the medium. Okay. You can read it like a traditional web comic, so you just scroll and read. All right. Second option, if you choose to, there's going to be dialogue boxes available on all the panels. Well, yeah, on the panels with the pictures. Oh, so what's gonna end up happening is actually there's gonna be voice actors voice acting the lines for you. So now you sit there and you're clicking and you're reading along with you're reading along with the comic book, but the voice actors are there for you. Wow. So you're gonna get all the inflection, you're gonna get the animation, you're gonna get the voice acting from it. Yeah. Because I told myself that I wanted to separate myself from everybody doing the things that I'm trying to do.
So this has never been done?
To my knowledge, no. To my knowledge, I know there have been webcomics with sounds and fight scenes and animated panels. Yeah. But to my knowledge, I don't know of a webcomic that has voice acting embedded into it throughout.
So are you gonna do anything to patent it, or is it patent?
I mean, in all honesty, I don't think that there's a way that you can patent that. No. No, because it's just all I'm doing is just putting a voice track over a comic book. Yeah. So I don't really think that there's anything for me to patent. If I was gonna come up with a special source code or a program to encode it or anything kind of like that, probably I would do that. But I don't think I'm there yet. And I don't think that this isn't going to be a permanent solution. This is just something that I want to create, not so much a hype, but I want to separate myself from the crowd. Exactly. So I want to have those voice acting bubbles so you can get that animation from the characters. And so I finished scripting it, getting voice actors now. Yeah. Everything's basically been storyboarded. We're basically just gonna start coloring, inking, and then getting the voice actors in line. Get the lines out, and then I'll probably come back onto the show the night of the release to do the day before the release. So then the episode's up, and then have the episode release alongside with the comic book.
That would be amazing. I would love to have you on right before the release.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. I want to really create like a partnership between our two brands because you know you're radio, you're marketing. Exactly. You know what I mean, why not take advantage of the fact that you're...
That's what I want.
You get me? So I'm gonna and I will more than willing to be a sponsor and everything, and it's just it's just about supporting each other. You know what I mean, I've always told you since you were a little kid, like, and you would come over to my house, and my brother would not be home, but he'd tell you guys to come over, and then I didn't want you guys going back home because you guys just wasted time walking all the way to my house, and we just hung out. Yeah. But I always told you that I see you guys as little brothers. I see you, Brandon, who was on the show earlier, Miguel, who was on the show, like everybody that's been like. You all are like my little brothers. Like I've adopted you. Like when I say like I'm hanging out with you guys, I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm gonna hang out with my little brother. Exactly. They're like, who? I'm like, Satan. They're like, who the fuck? I'm like, yo, don't worry about how we related. Just know that that's my little brother. Like that's just how it is.
Blood couldn't make us.
Yeah, closer. No, blood cannot make us. Honestly, I feel like blood would make us fucking further apart. Keep it a buck. Like everybody says, oh, blood is thicker than water, but people forget the actual saying is. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, meaning the connections that you decide to make are always going to be stronger than the connections that you were born with. And that's something that you always have to remember, is that the connections that you make is what's going to move you forward. It's not about who you or like your parents know or whatever, because all that other stuff can help you, but ultimately it's about who you know as a person. Those people need to know you. They need to know your character. They need to know who you are. Yeah. That's why it matters who you know.
Yeah, 100%. You get me? You can't be, because with blood sometimes, with family, with people that are so close to you, they might be judgmental or they might not believe the same things that you believe, but you can't tell them out of respect because you can't be, you were born and they taught you respect is the number one thing. Yeah. And you can't go against that respect. Like, you can't disrespect those people because those are the pillars that hold you up. But you gotta find your own path. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah,
man. I mean, like, look, like I'm Dominican. You know, my parents emigrated here. They gave me a strong work ethic. Exactly. You know what I mean? That's how I've been able to keep up with this for 3 years. Yeah. More than that, honestly, if you really think about it, because like if the earliest predating like thing that I can think about that I wrote about the show was like 2012. It was like the end of 2012, beginning of 2013. And like this is like all on my Google Drive account. Like everything is there, bro.
Still saved.
Everything is still saved. Like I've never deleted anything. Like I have renditions of like first drafts of the characters to what they look like now, and like bro, the transition, like how much my mind has changed. Because like as you see it, like certain things become more and more defined. Yeah. Because like my artist, who's Andres, I wouldn't be able to do this without him. 100%. This kid is in my head. I gave him a rough description. I was like, yo, he's got like olive skin tone, like he's got like wavy black hair, you know, his eyes are like green, but they're kind of far apart, but not really, kind of mysterious looking, but they're double lidded. He's got really sharp eyebrows and a beard. Bro, you can draw anybody. Like I gave him no description of like nose, eye shape, eyebrow shape, like nothing about ears, hairline, nothing. Bro, tell me how this kid drew him exactly how I saw him in my head.
It's because when you start working together and when your minds align, people don't know this, but you could end up seeing the same picture in your head. You can end up seeing the same message in your head. But I'm here with Gabriel Devers, talking about his new anime project coming out. Do you have a set date? Do you know when we can expect it?
So I don't have a set date right now. It's looking like, though, it's going to be early April. Okay. Early April.
This year?
Yeah, this year. For the webcomic. I mean, I'm not joking. Like, I've been working on this, like the stuff that I'm talking about now is stuff that, like, I've already known, and, like, it's stuff that's already been done. Yeah. Right? So then that way, like, I'm giving my artists time, like, giving them a break. So, like, a lot of the stuff is actually borderline done. Mm-hmm. little sneak preview. A lot of the stuff is actually like borderline done. It's just like finishing touches and like little things here and there.
Perfect.
But yeah, so we're looking early April is like by the earliest estimates. The latest estimate is looking like, mid-May. That's like we're still having some trouble looking for a couple voice actors to get these characters down because when you're making something and you're doing it from scratch, you want it to be perfect.
Yes.
So I'm a huge perfectionist. So I'm trying to find the perfect character, like the perfect person to play these characters because I need it to sound right. You get me? Because like if it's not there, then it's not there.
I feel you 100%. Man, everyone watching this, I hope you're mad supportive of this dude right here. Doing big things. It's amazing to see people, following their dreams, doing what they set out to do, doing what they believe in. We need more support, and we need more people like Gabriel to think differently because, listen.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
To take a traditional way of thinking and advance it into a better format, it takes a different kind of mind. It takes a different kind of originality. What you're doing with the comic book and the voice actors, so it's like, how they say, how some people like books over movies because they can create the scene in their head better?
Yeah.
You're basically doing that because you're giving the photos and the animation like a live set in the person's brain.
I'm just trying to immerse people into the show as much as possible. I mean, one thing that we're working on at the studio, and I say that, but it's really just me and Andres for the most part. Mm-hmm. We're working on this one really cool idea that I thought about is like writing a psycho thriller, right? So kind of like a horror movie, mm-hmm. but it's really hard to do horror movies as an anime. It's hard. It's hard to pull off that medium because it's not genuinely scary because it's animated. Mm-hmm. So my idea is actually I want to do it in first person. So the viewer is actually the main character.
Okay.
So you're now the psychotic killer.
Wow, that empathy that
plays into that lack. So then on top of that, like I bought these really cool microphones that they mimic the human ear. So
in what way? Like in what way?
So they pick up sound the way the human ear receives sound.
Like 3D.
Yeah.
Okay.
So meaning that like if I can put it here, if I'm talking directly at you, mm-hmm. when you hear it played back to you, mm-hmm. it sounds like it's directly in front of you. Okay. So if I talk to the left of the microphone, it's gonna sound like it's coming to the left. So it creates a 3-dimensional sound. Like so, when you're like you have headphones that says 7.1 or 5.1 surround sound or whatever. That means the number of speakers that are around you. Okay. Right? Yeah. So 7.1 means that there's 7 speakers around you. Okay. 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Right? And then the subwoofer. Yeah. Right? If it has bass. So you have that. So this microphone basically records in that capability. Wow. To output that sound.
That's beautiful.
Right? So now think about it. So now I can just get a whole bunch of people, right? Just saying random words. Mm-hmm. Potatoes. Yeah. Cheese. Yeah. Blood, murder, kill, stab, revenge, anger. Yeah. Right? I can just have all these voices going crazy, right? Playing in the background as the show goes on.
Like you're schizophrenic.
Yeah. Wow. Like you're a schizo. Like you're a schizophrenic patient.
It puts you in those shoes.
Wow. So now you're going around and you're there and you're watching the show and you just killed somebody, bro.
Yeah. And you feel it.
Right? Because and then the cool thing is that sometimes you're gonna look down, right? And your hands are gonna be lollipops. And you're just skipping down the street, but it's gonna cut to a third person camera, right? And it's you're actually wielding a sword or whatever, a katana, chainsaw, and you're killing people. But in your head, you think you're just skipping down the street with a whole lollipop.
Wait, is it gonna be like VR?
Kinda. It's gonna be kinda like VR, but not really.
But more animated.
Yeah, more animated.
That's a cool ass concept.
Right? So then there's other things that I'm working on ideas and stuff like that. But that's one idea that we're writing, That's we had and not only that, but that show mm-hmm. ties into the show that I'm working on right now.
The animation that you're
Yeah. The one that I was talking about with the bridge.
It's like a spinoff?
No, not a spinoff. They're in the same universe.
Oh, alright.
Oh, yeah, no, man. I'm telling you, I'm doing a whole Pixar, interconnected universe. mixed with like Tarantino. Like it's
wow.
Yeah, man. Like everything is gonna be. There's gonna be layers. There's gonna be connections that people are gonna start making. Like I want to be like, you know how people like watch Rick and Morty, and they have all these theories about like which one is the real Morty or what's going on with this, like the underlying backstory,
Of course.
and like people are coming up with all these theories. You know, like Dan Harmon is just sitting there like, yo, none of that stuff is like actual. Like people, he leaves like these breadcrumbs for people that go nowhere.
That ends.
That's what I want to do.
It's just
I want to create an entire universe where there is a connection. Yeah. But like I'm gonna be throwing random breadcrumbs that go nowhere, and like I'm the type of person that like I'm gonna add more breadcrumbs so you keep going down that spiral hole that you're wasting your time at. Because honestly, because like I find that so amazing that people are so immersed into a world that they're so enthralled with the story that they're willing to devote time to do research on a subject that doesn't really exist because they find enjoyment in it.
But you know what? That really is a part of the thrill. It makes it come alive for you.
Exactly.
And it gives you more emotion.
Exactly. And like who's to say that at the end of the day, like I don't just tie everything that I've been working on at the end, let's say when like I want to retire.
Exactly.
You get me? But like honestly, like
you give the people what they want.
Yeah. But honestly, like I feel myself akin a lot to like Childish Gambino or Donald Glover, where he was on a song recently with 21 Savage. I can't believe I'm quoting this, but he's on a song called Monster with 21 Savage, and he says his opening line to his verse is, "My pull out the game is so weak," and I find that so funny because like it's true. He's been saying that he was gonna stop making music forever.
Yeah.
Right. But he just dropped when he dropped Stone Mountain in Kauai, that was supposed to be his last project.
Yeah.
Right. There was a little bit of a radio silence. He hung out. He chilled or whatever. He did a couple features here and there. Yeah. All right, he did like the stuff for Atlanta, and then all of a sudden he drops "This Is America." Yeah. Right, and then he drops feels like summer, and then Summertime Magic. He's dropping like these summer hits, like these late summer hits back to back.
And he's supposed to be retired.
Right, and he's supposed to be retired. Then he jumps on the track with 21 Savage. Opening line, "My pull out the game is so weak." You get me? And like I find that amazing because like I'm also into music. I'm doing all the music for my animation in my entire studio myself.
Yeah. Is it more orchestrated or upbeat?
Oh, it's actually a combination of stuff. I'm doing live orchestra stuff. I'm playing a lot of the stuff myself.
Oh yeah.
On top of that, I'm doing a lot of original music, my own original music on the show. I'm also doing, I'm also covering a lot of music because if you do a cover, it falls under the Fair Use Act. So I can still use it in my show, but I can't use the original recording, but I can do a cover. So I could do a cover of the song. So I'm doing like old 60s songs in the show too. I'm doing like EDM songs from today. Like I have like all sorts of different stuff going on, and I'm doing all of that. And like I find myself a lot to be like Donald because like I'm writing. All right, I'm gonna be voice acting in the show as well. Exactly. Working on the music, you get me? Like I find myself to be like a Renaissance man, like how he is. You get me? He's just a lover of the arts, and I find myself to be the same way.
Like I said, we need more people like you. Like, just the energy is great. I love walking into the studio, see you making music, see you just collaborating with Andre. Yeah. Again, it's Gabe on the show, SORTA Radio. Thank you for coming, man. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here.
Yeah, for sure, man. This wasn't even supposed to happen either. Like this was just like supposed to be like a little 5-minute thing, and it turned into a whole episode.
I love it though. It's great.
No, I love it. It's super natural. Like you wanted to like come up with a script and everything, and I was like, yeah, we should.
We just sat down.
But now, honestly, like it's just like we just fed off of each other's energy and we just chilled, and it was just like a normal conversation that we were having.
Do you want to give any shout outs?
Yo, honestly, shout out to my whole team and my whole brand. Studio Weird Animation. It's honestly just me and my boy Andres right now. We got some other people too, but they haven't really started working yet and everything. But big shout outs to my boy Justin. He's a huge contributor to the entire studio. Honestly, he's a huge help. Shout out to actually. My ex-girl, I'm not gonna say no. Yeah, no. It's all good. Just shout out to her because like she lit a fire under my ass that really got me to like jumpstart the show to where it's at right now.
Yeah.
Because I've been working, like, it's been 3 years, but it wasn't 3 years of consistent work. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. There were times where I wasn't working on it because I was depressed and I was going through stuff. But, yeah, shout out to her because she lit a fire under me that motivated me like nothing else. And honestly, like, I owe her and her family and everything. Everything. I owe them everything. They helped me out so much. And honestly, everything that I do from now on is just moving forward to pay everybody back that helped me get to where I am today. So shout out to her and her fam, and shout out to my fam. And y'all, just peace, love, and positivity, bro. Peace, love, and positivity.
Facts. Everything will be in the description. Make sure to leave a comment if you want to ask any questions. Make sure to subscribe. Hit that bell. I make videos every week. Again, big shout out to Gabe.
Thanks, guys.
He's my brother. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
SORTA Radio.